Hello, everybody. Welcome to MarTEAnis with Eddy. Tonight we are doing an after hour because we had so many Bravo news this week and so many um, topics that we need to talk about. They're all spicy. So let's call this the Red Room, the Red Lounge at MarTEAnis with Eddy. And we're going to get spicy with Philly Diva. Hello, gorgeous.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I got my Bravo Con shirt on for the event.
Oh my gosh. Throwing
Yeah,
it back to BravoCon. Yes, I
yeah.
love it.
I mean, since people were crashing BravoCon, and it's all about the Salt Lake City of it all, I figured, I support my
Representing.
little.
So, cheers to start the
Mhm.
show. For those who are joining, we are calling this the after hour because we are going to get spicy. And we're going to start with Salt Lake City because it was mm, yes.
Okay, I don't know who is more money hungry, if it's Jen Shaw or if it's Andy Cohen, because somebody had to come up with the idea and somebody had to green light it and somebody had to call production. Like, this isn't just happening between two people on a phone call or a Zoom. You know what I mean? This is a production.
Yes.
And somebody greenlit this and said that this was okay to do. People are going to be interested. And I'm not going to hold you after Adam's interview. And then we determined that everything she said in that interview was a lie. Like, why are we giving her more of a platform? Like,
That's what I was thinking
making
too. Honestly, I am very disappointed with the possibility of um, Bravo giving her more space to keep spewing more lies. Like at
mhm.
this point, I'm not interested. I don't want to know. I don't care. We spent 2 seasons listening to her line, literally 2 seasons, because she was arrested last season in the
And
middle of
I'm
the
going for
season.
3 seasons because when she started, she was telling us what she did, and she wasn't being truthful then. So
That's
she's
right.
been lying to us from the get go. She's been presenting all of this money and this wealth and this opulence. And in the second season, we find out the chalet was rented, and now we're finding out after the feds confiscated all of her things that they were fakes. Like, lies, lies, lies of Manelli, lies.
And the worst part of the whole situation is the fact that they are giving her the opportunity to speak to the public after she was sentenced to 6.5 years, which, by the way, I don't think that is enough for the crime that
No,
she committed.
no, I don't think it's enough either. Her judge has been, he gives lenient sentences.
Yeah.
So although he gave her a strict talking to and a very public tongue lashing for the audience,
Philly, Diva,
he
I need
he
to ask you something. Do you have a volume in your mic or anything? Because
I do.
I noticed that somebody was saying that it's hard to hear you. Maybe is the setting your mic. I just want to make sure that
Oh,
yeah, we what we've been talking about it's Jen Shao of it all. So
Yeah, I
yes.
was sorry, guys. I was working, and then I had my mouse plugged in, and my mic wasn't plugged in. So sorry about it. I'm multitasking, doing my 9 to 5, and try to do my passion.
That's what I'm telling you. That's what we call it the after show. We have to like sit down and enjoy the little moments like
Yes,
Bravo, even though we're still
yes.
working in our 9 to 5s.
Yeah. Like I work from well, I hybrid work, and on Fridays it's a little harder because I have my daughter and she wants to do stuff, and then I'm like I'm trying to multitask. So I had something that I was supposed to do at 8 o'clock, and I completely forgot until I sat down and was like, Sugar honey iced tea. Let me get this done. So sorry about it, guys. I hope you can hear me now. Am I better?
Perfect.
Well, let me repeat myself. Jen Shah is a money hungry and a money hungry, fame hungry person. And Andy Cohen is, I don't know who's more greedy because this is all to bring in money. Um, I can't say I respect their hustle. Like I'm all about a hustle, and I get that, and I understand creating content for the network. I think we are now at the point like all money isn't good money,
That's right.
and we really, as a viewers and as reviewers of the show, we're kind of holding the moral compass to the network. Like she pled guilty. Like why are we giving her an additional stage if she couldn't even be bothered, or excuse me, we couldn't even be bothered with having her on the reunion where she could at least confront her coworkers.
That's right.
So if you're going to give her, that platform to explain herself, give it to her with her coworkers.
And that's very disappointing because um, the only topic that we really wanted to be discussed this season was this sentencing and this trial, and we did not have that. Not even for one episode. They were ignoring the whole topic. They were dancing around the conversation. And even production is guilty of it because the few moments where somebody was going to face Jensha was edited out. Like we
Mhm.
know that Dana, she had that moment with Jen Shah, and I can confirm that she said that the reason why she confronted Jen Shah was because Jen Shah was telling lies about Dana, and also she was being very disrespectful towards her husband by calling him different Spanish name, which it wasn't his name, which is very
It's very
um
insulting and very
yeah.
condescending, and the problem is Jen Shah has had this, like she does little things and she picks and she picks and she picks, and she had been doing that with Dana all season. Like what do I think of the fight being cut? Honestly, I think that Bravo realized that this season was really a mess. And this was them trying to clean up the season, but not knowing where to clean it up. The problem was that wasn't the only problem with the season. That wasn't even the main problem with the season. Like once we got to a certain point, it was, why aren't we talking about the black eye? Like all season, you're not going to discuss this case.
Yes.
The last 5 episodes, you should have at least talked about this black eye. So it became, well, we're not going to give you this, and we're not going to give you this. This is what we're going to do. Ladies dance and enjoy that content. Don't look
And
over here.
and the editing of the whole season was completely messy. It was so choppy from the beginning because we know that Jenny from last season, she was edited out completely because she was
Mhm.
filming when this whole, the racist Facebook post came to life, and she got, fired, but they were already filming. So a big
Mhm.
chunk of that the story, they couldn't use it because she was
She was
part of it.
gone.
Yeah, and she was gone. And now towards the end, they started to edit everything out when it came down to Jen Shah. And we as viewers, we're not stupid. We watched the trailer, we know exactly what was coming, and they lied to us with footage that they didn't even
They
show.
didn't even air. And I think the problem is, part of the problem is what we were talking about last time. They don't do that. Too many of the housewives are on social media.
Yes.
We are getting way too much content from the housewives on social media. We should be reviewing the shows and the confessional looks and reviewing that. Like, I shouldn't have to discuss everything that's going on in the news, plus what's going on in the show, plus what you're doing on Twitter. Like, y'all are doing too much. Not even just for me because I got a regular job. But y'all are doing too much for the show. Like, bring back the blogs. Bring back the live recaps. I like the after show. But I think it's the constant bickering back and forth. It's the constant self-producing. Like, oh,
And you just said something very important. They keep giving too much on social media before even airs. Like, let's talk about Beverly Hills for 1 second. Last season, we already knew the whole entire season before even air. We knew where they were filming, the order of the storylines, because we knew exactly how it was going. Everybody was posting photos with the outfits, and like, I want to be surprised. I don't want to know all the stuff. And us as a Bravo content creator, we want to have the job to like look for those little things, you know. But they're giving it to us, and we talk about it. And by the time the show airs, there's nothing to talk about because we
there's
already spoke
nothing to.
about it.
And I'm scared that we'll touch on this when we talk about Jersey. But I'm scared that with everything that dropped from this summer, like from when they started filming, literally until now,
Yes.
Jersey. I can tell you what's going on with Jersey.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
it's
And
it's a lot.
we will gonna get into that one in a little bit because I also have some tea on that one. Aaron is asking, what do you think of Heather on the after show, saying her and Jen are still friends? I saw that, and that's the tea that I want to share with you in a little bit. Um, I am so done with Heather Gay and even Meredith Mark when it comes down to this whole Jen shot, because they have been proven time after time that they have no moral compass. And
That's a big problem for me.
you
Like,
you can be a ride or die for some stuff, but this case in particular, you need to be a bigger human being and realize that this person that you think you knew was damaging many lives, you know. So I don't understand that. What do you think?
I was so upset. I was frustrated with Heather when she was on Watch What Happens Live and said, "Well, I knew her business was suspect." Wait, what? You said that on national TV that you knew that her business was suspect, and you're still writing for her.
I know.
And then that just brought me back to the Sprinter van because on Watch What Happens Live, you're saying you knew it was suspect, but on the Sprinter van, you're so surprised and you're shaking and you don't know what's going on. Like, you can't have it both ways. And Heather, I think, is so thirsty now. Like, she got so fame drunk. Like, she is beyond intoxicated with this fame. She will do anything to keep a piece of the limelight. She will say anything. She will
She's the
sell her
perfect
soul.
pick me girl. She's the
She is a
perfect pick me girl.
If Pick Me was a Real Housewives, it's Heather Gay. Sorry about it. I know it's
Yeah.
some of y'all faves, but
I mean, it's interesting how she went. Even though I never been a Heather Gay fan, never been, not even the first season, never. But I didn't mind her presence on the show. But it's so interesting to see how she went from like having like a strong fan base to be the one that I've seen a lot of people saying I don't like her anymore. You know,
yeah, she
this
definitely
season was
went
a
from
mess.
fan favorite to, just like enemy of the state. Like, when people are talking about they want to recast, they're talking about recasting around Lisa, not recasting around Heather. So, it tables turned real quick. Like,
It re- it
real
re-
quick.
It reminded me of the time when people, or at least Bravo, was trying to make Beverly Hills around Kyle and end up being around LVP at the beginning of the franchise. And
Yeah.
that's why Kyle got a little, upset towards the end of season 9, and she just wanted her to be out because the whole idea was Kyle to be the star of the show. And let's be honest, Kyle is a great housewife in so many levels, but she is not the star. She's not. She's
Nope.
not like she didn't come out to be that face of Beverly Hills. LVP turned out to be that
LVP
person.
did. That's
So
and
this is
that's the thing.
with Heather Gay and Lisa Barlow too. They have the same. in a situation where Bravo has been trying so hard to make Heather happen, that Lisa was the one who took the like the face of Salt Lake City position.
They're not going to make fetch happen. I'm just like,
They're trying, but it's not gonna happen.
stop trying to make fetch happen, Bravo. Like, and in case y'all don't know what I'm referring to, go clock your references. I'm talking about Mean Girls. Heather is fetch. Like, it's not happening. We don't like her. Return to sender.
Send it back in the
I'm just-
mail.
Send it back. Like, I'm just not here for it.
No, and I was gonna say, I do have a story about the after show. Now that Aaron mentioned in the question, um, if you watch that after show, you see that Whitney is sharing a story of BravoCon running into Jen at this rooftop party and Jen ignoring them, and then she approached Jen, and guess who was a witness of this situation? Me. I saw that happen, and I never mentioned anything just because I did not know the context of the conversation. I didn't want to start any
Yes.
gossip. And also,
Yes.
when you are in a private party or like a setting where it's not like for the fans or there's no cameras, you kind of want to keep the respect of the people's conversations. But I pay attention to the conversation and I pay attention to what was happening. And she shared the story, and I was like, I'm going to give it to Whitney on this because the way that she explained the whole setting of how she approached Jen Shah because she ignored them, whatever. I witnessed it, and exactly how she said it's exactly what it happened. So a lot of people tend to like give some they're not fan of Whitney, but I'm going to say at least the women is not lying in a lot of stuff, and this proves it because she was very specific and it was all 100% true.
Well, here's the thing with Whitney. People find her annoying or, weird or whatever, but she's not a liar. Like, Whitney's not, she's a lot of times painfully honest and naively honest sometimes. And she just kind of speaks, but she's not a liar.
No,
like
no.
you can tell when some women on the show are liars and they manipulate the truths, Meredith Marks, and they kind of dance around it, tiptoe around it, Jen Shot. Like, we know who those women are.
Yes.
But I just don't see that from Whitney. Like, so yeah,
And
like I'm not surprised about that.
and honestly, this new picture of Jen Shah getting ready for a dress rehearsal, whatever, to me, it's one of the biggest slap in the face for the victims,
Yeah.
to the system,
Oh yeah.
giving her more time to keep lying to the public. Because let's be honest, I think Andy is great for the whatever entertainment business, for housewives and all the key part of it. But for a serious conversation, like of um victims of elderly. Hi. Oh my gosh.
I told you she would probably make a pop up. Maddie, you can't hear because I have my headphones on.
Hi.
They
Hi.
can hear you just fine. Come on, do this. Come on.
I want to ask you why. I want to watch a movie, but I can't. I have to pay for it. I was wondering.
No, we got Netflix, we got Disney Plus. You're not paying for a movie. Come on.
Oh my goodness, I love this.
It's too tight over here, Maddie. It's way too tight over here. Get off my popcorn.
It's out.
You already had 3 bowls. Come on.
It's not fair. You're supposed to finish it. You always finish things you have in your room. He's bad.
That was a moment. I love it.
Please.
I love you, baby. No, I'm not paying for a movie. Come on. You got Madison right.
Live shows.
Live shows.
I love this. But yes, what I was gonna say, it's to me, it's definitely a slap in the face to the victims, a slap in the face to the system.
Yeah.
It should have been given the platform. And Andy, he's great for housewife, reunions or whatever whatever he does with them, which is fun and kiki and all this stuff. But this is a serious matter. This is not Andy territories. This is more like
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper territories. Like
You know,
Cole Anderson.
call Anderson. And you know what? I wouldn't. You can't even call Anderson. Honestly, you know who would be a good host for this? A good host, but a horrible host, but a good host. Um. Oh my God. Ebony K. Williams.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
she is a lawyer. She is a real housewife. She is with the shits. Like she plays no games. She is so smart. That is the only person I could ever imagine interviewing Jen Shah. Anybody else, I don't want it. I don't want it.
Yeah,
Put it back
because
to center.
if they're gonna interview this woman, I don't want them to interview her as a reality TV star. I want them to interview her for the criminal that she is, and the only way to do it is doing it through real journalism, not just like not like People Magazine type of question. This is more like
No,
New York Times type of questions.
like God rest in peace. This is Barbara Walters. Like
That's right. You know that she will
that's
make her cry. You know
she.
that Barbara will
You
make her
took the words
cry.
right out of my mouth. Like Barbara Wawa would make her ass cry. Like, see, I remember Barbara Wawa from back in the day, and she made them cry. Like Mike Tyson. And
Whew, honestly, she's the one. This is a good question. Are you gonna be watching if
no.
the no same? I don't think I want to
Very
give
quick,
the
short answer. No.
yeah yeah
Um, I know people who have been scammed. Like I know people who've been scammed. That's not something I play with. I mean, and I'm gonna say this, like I'm in a s- I'm in a city where I know a lot of people. So I can't be hypocritical and say I don't know any criminals. I respect people who have to steal when they have nothing. Just because I have not that I've stolen. I get that struggle.
yes
Not violence. Like it's hard to explain if you haven't been in that kind of
in the need
economic struggle. And I
yes
grew up in a crack era. Like I'm a 90s baby. I am a different generation. However, what I am saying in regards to Jen Shah is that she willfully created a plan to manipulate people who are older and mentally challenged, for lack of a better word, and steal from them.
yeah
That breaks my heart. That I can't give, a platform to. I'm not in I thought about reposting the picture and just slamming her and reading her. And I chose not to only because like it's everywhere. You scroll and it's everywhere. And I'm not giving her like I'm not like Jen Shah will get what she gave to her victims. Dust.
dust.
I'm
Love it.
not watching her show.
Same. Uh I was upset when I heard there was even there was even consideration for this interview, and now that I see that it might be actually happen because Andy said it on his radio show that he's expecting to sit down with her this weekend and what's not, and probably is to film something for the reunion. That's probably what it is. They're probably gonna air this as like the second or third episode of the reunion.
Or a 20
Um,
minute interlude in between so we don't not watch it.
exactly. But one thing that I'm 100% sure is that if this clip or episode is said, this is episode is only for Jen Shah, I'm turning my TV off. I'm not giving it the rating. And even when she comes on the show, I'm turning it off or changing the channel, just because they know as soon as you change the channel one portion, they know exactly when you're changing. I'm not giving her the platform. I don't care. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be many other content creators talking about it and taking videos and stuff. Good for them. But one thing that I've been very firm is how I do not support Jen Shah. And now that she is actually found guilty and she's also been sentenced, I don't want to give her more space that she does not deserve.
And here's the thing, Eddie, it's like she hasn't been found guilty. She pled guilty. Like, and there's a difference. She didn't even get a chance to present the evidence again, like to defend herself. She
Yeah.
didn't do like she had to plea bargain, as in she had to go to them and say, okay, I did it. Can I get less time if we don't go to trial? Like
Yeah.
that's what happens in a plea bargain. You have to say you did it. So you weren't even found guilty. You admitted it.
Yeah.
And when you do that, the judge then has to ask you about all of the crimes. Do you understand what you did was wrong? Do you understand? Like, so you know what you did was wrong. You've admitted to the things that you've done and where they were wrong in open court. Why are we sitting down with Andy?
I agree. And why
Like,
even Andy thinking about it? That's my biggest question. Like, why?
I can't imagine. And, anything that I could imagine would get me banned from BravoCon. And I do want to work with Bravo eventually. So I would never say anything wrong about, that
Yeah.
silver fox, Mr. Cohen.
Yeah. Same.
Like we joke,
I still want
but I
I
have
still want to be able to come into BravoCon, be invited to the clubhouse. So please,
I still
I
I
still want
still
to
want to
make
do things.
yeah, I still want to create the content that I'm creating.
But
Yeah, it's I'm not going to watch. I mean, I made that decision myself just as an individual. I don't want to give Jen Shah the opportunity to keep lying to us through in any form, and it's I don't get how anyone will be interested on listening more lies because
well, there are the people that believe. No, no, no. They're the people who believe her and who love her.
oh god,
It's her
that's
shot squad. Like we can't pretend that the shot squad isn't still there. We can't pretend that Shy Explode isn't a shy friendly site now.
yeah.
And like they love her. They think she's funny. They think that she's great for TV. And
I always
yeah,
question that though. Like,
yeah.
how can you say this person is great for TV knowing what that person has done to other people? Because I'm pretty sure that a lot of criminals out there, like I'm talking about, like murder and
Yeah, like
really
those
high
type
end.
of criminals.
I'm pretty sure a lot of those people are funny and good for TV, but I don't want them on my TV.
So that people used to say that about what's his name? Ted Bundy all the time.
Yes,
He was so charming and funny and just because somebody is funny and charming, they don't I don't need to be around them.
that's right.
And I'm not liking the two of them together, of course not. But I think that her time can be done. Like we can say that Jen Shah had funny moments on Housewives. We can say that she gave us some really iconic looks. Like we can say all of these things and they can be true.
Yes,
But that doesn't mean we need to give her any more shine
or a free pass.
or free pass
Because I have
or
seen that a lot. That I'm always on Twitter because that's like my main platform. I see so many tweets from people saying like, "Oh, I hope Jen Shah gets like a month." Before the trial, people were saying, "I hope she gets like a month. so we can start shooting the new season. And stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, how we got to the point where it's more important a
To
show
film.
than justice, and than justice for people who actually were done wrong, really, really wrong.
Like she took $1 million from her mama.
Let's
Like,
talk about that part where she sat down with
did
her
y'all
mom and
forget that? Her mother.
honestly, that
I don't even like
scene.
taking $20 from my mom if I'm not giving it back to her.
Thank you. Did you watch that scene on the finale when she sat down with her and she was saying, "When I come back,
When
I'll
I
be
come back,
either guilty or innocent." And I'm thinking, girl, you just scammed your mom.
so mom, yep, you scammed your mom.
Like,
You lied to your mama's face. Like I don't. Okay, I can't say you knew. Well, she did know then that she was guilty
yeah,
because with the emails and everything from Coach Shaw and how to answer, you knew what you were doing. So I can't even say anymore like you didn't know and what you ended up doing happened to be illegal. So now you just paid the price. No, you knew what you were doing was illegal.
yes,
And the fact that you sat there and lied to your mother, you took her money,
yes.
and then you said, when I come back, I could be innocent or guilty. No, you're guilty. And when you come back, you pled guilty. And you
You
couldn't even tell your mom off camera, like call her at 3 o'clock in the morning, mommy, listen, come over right now while there are no cameras. I got to talk to you. Like,
even worse, she allowed her mom to take all her savings to pay her legal fees, knowingly what she was doing and knowing that the end of it. I mean, how heartless can you be when you literally
like,
took everything that your mom worked for?
mhm. And the thing
I
is, like, I'm still confused why she had to take the money from her mom if Coordinator Shaw, excuse me, Coach Shaw, he is whatever, he made $619,000 last year.
yeah,
Like, and that was just in 1 year, and that wasn't your first year on the job. So you've consistently been making, six figures. Why are you asking that lady for her retirement money?
hmm,
Where's the money? Where's all this money that they stole? That's my big question. Where is the money?
that's a good question. I want to know that too. Probably overseas or somewhere, because I mean, based
Swiss
on the
bank.
paper, yeah, based on the paper, there are like some kind of like, um, I think it was like an account in Kosovo or something like that.
It's
So
something.
I mean, it's just such a twisted story that it's. I just hope that we don't have to talk about this again or see her again. Um, personally, I do not believe that Jen Shah is the end of Salt Lake City. A lot of people keep saying that, oh, Jen Shah is leaving, so it's the end of the franchise. I'm like, no, Jen Shah is no Teresa Giudice.
No.
I
Well,
mean,
here's the problem. No, she's no Teresa. And it's not that she is the franchise, but it's that the franchise has taken so many hits.
yes,
That's more so what it is. It's so what this case is doing is now kind of opening up the wounds because when Mary left, that was a big hit.
yeah, huge,
Like that was a big hit when Mary left. And then we have Jenny Nguyen with her controversy. I'm sure that cost a lot of viewers.
yeah,
Like, so that's another hit. And then we have Meredith telling us that Lisa's been trading favors for Vita on the first 2, 3 episodes, and then the rest of the season saying she didn't say that. When you're boldly lying to us, we
mm-hmm.
saw you do it. You ran a campaign against Lisa the first few seasons because you were hot in the pants that she had her hot mic moment. Like, just say I was butthurt, I'm mad, and I'm going to talk shit. Like, own it. Stand 10 toes down in it. This is what you did. You were my friend for 15 years. and this is what you did, and I am extremely hurt by it.
Yes.
I thought we were more than this show. And that is really what it comes down to. Meredith really thought that they were more than the show. And seeing that hot mic moment, she feels that that's what Lisa really meant. And I really think Lisa was just having a moment. Like, I don't think she
Yeah.
meant it.
She was just having a
But
meltdown after.
yeah, but you can't convince somebody after they said all of these things that, you know what I mean? Like, so on one hand, I get where Meredith is really hurt. Like, I've had friends say horrible things and they're like, I didn't mean it. I can't believe you. Like, I don't believe you. I'm sorry. Like, you probably didn't mean it. But now the trust is broken.
Yeah.
So
Honestly, that storyline would have been more interesting than whatever we got this season. All those like weird stories of like the choir or like the book that was there
oh,
was no book
the
at the
book that didn't
party.
have no, well, here's the book. I mean, the book is out now. And here's where I mean, again, I'm not Whitney, excuse me, where Heather again messes up because her book is out. And are we talking about the book? What's the book about? She didn't plug
Bad
it all
Mormon.
season.
Bad
But she
Mormon.
didn't
That's all
plug
I
it all.
know.
That's the thing. We know it's Bad Mormon, but she didn't talk about the book all season. We didn't
Right.
see her meeting with her writing partners. We didn't see her going to the publisher. We didn't even see her and Whitney interacting while Whitney is trying to, excommunicate herself from the church. And your cousin is writing a book, Bad Mormon. The two of you should be y'all should be working through that trauma together. What is going on?
So strange. She
It was so
decided to,
strange.
and Heather decided instead of promoting her book, she decided to create a choir that we had to deal with for like 5 episodes, and I'm still wondering why because that didn't make any freaking sense. And then
And
we
then the
have
Angie Whitney audition with the
the dance. We got the choir, we got the dance. It was like a knockoff of American Idol. It was really, really embarrassing. And then we have the other storyline with Heather, which was the black eye that we are tired of talking about. But we're gonna answer this question. What do you guys think of all the theory of Heather's eye?
um I'm going to say that the alleged theory is just that an alleged theory of Philly Diva, and it has nothing to do with MarTEAnis with Eddy. He does not feel this way. This is again my theory. I have nothing to base this on. Strictly conjecture. I think it was a drunken dip in the lady pond. Um, and the elbow went somewhere it shouldn't have. And maybe a heel, got super excited. I don't know. I don't know.
I, I mean, that's a good theory. I mean,
Like
it's very
there was
possible.
lipstick. There was lipstick on the. There was just weird stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So again, this is why I think they were both really super drunk that night. Um, but again, with the way people bruise, I think that she got that black eye 2 days before. So it would have been the day she left
Yes.
where she had that makeup on. So in all seriousness, I think something like she probably got, bumped into a wall or got some treatment because anything else Bravo would have showed us.
Yeah.
And
I
they
agree.
alluded to, yeah.
I do believe that
Can I wear makeup on the podcast? I mean, not podcast. Comments.
I do believe that Heather didn't necessarily um, got punched in the face like she is trying to allude to people to believe. I believe that Heather Gay either did that to herself somehow. Maybe she tripped and fell. Maybe she hit her face, watching her face, watching her makeup off while she was drunk. Something along those lines. Either Heather did it to herself, or I agree. Jen Shah did it to her somehow. I do not believe that maybe Jen Shah did it like as an attack or as a forcing herself on some way. I think it was either uh, something playful that happened and they don't
Yeah.
remember it. She was
Oh
trying
yeah.
to cover. She was definitely trying to cover for Jen Shah.
Oh yeah. I think she was like I absolutely in no way think it was something purposeful, malicious at all. I think it was probably 90 love you too 98% an accident of somehow either of Heather's own doing or between the two of them. um I
Yeah,
think the problem is that because Heather knows she has no storyline, she thought she could make it a moment.
yeah,
And because she didn't follow through, and we are all like, this season is a mess, you got to give us something. We latched on. And then because we latched on and she didn't follow through, it even made it made for more of a mess of a season.
yeah. It was a very strange season overall. It didn't make any sense. The storylines were all over the place. The editing was awful. Ignoring the fact that Jen Shah was, being investigated and going to trial and all the stuff. We didn't even have that conversation about it. And then we have this really strange finale where they showed the ending cards in the middle of the episode, and I was really confused. And then it was a whole half an hour of Jen Shah lying even more, wearing matching Brooks Marks tracksuits with Meredith and Heather, and I'm still wondering why are we doing this when I know there is way more footage that is more interesting, like Dana yelling at Jen Shah, and also Meredith and Whitney talking about their argument. Those were
Yeah.
something that I wanted to see more about, not this matching tracksuit conversation at the end. I did not care for that.
Yeah, I definitely needed to see more conversation between Meredith and Whitney. Like, we needed that. Like, partly because that's how the season started off.
Yes.
So we needed that conclusion. I think, unfortunately, Bravo doesn't like to give us that resolution. They've lost sight of the resolution. I'll say that. Every show, not every show, but a lot of the ensemble cast shows, they've lost the that resolution, and we miss it. Like, I don't always want to see a beef. I want to see a beef, and then I want to see a resolution. Like, because when you're constantly arguing and arguing with the same person over and over again, like, hello
And
Beverly Hills, it gets boring.
yes, I was gonna say that for the past like what like since season 9 or whatever, when that Ford Fox 5 got formed, we don't get any resolution. We just get like a beef that has last like 3 seasons, and I'm exhausted. I remember back in the day, like you said, pretty much every single franchise had that resolution at the end. That's why they had those ending cards for to say, okay,
Hmm.
now they're in a good place, or now they're doing this, and we move to the next season. And yes, we might talk about the issue from the season before, but it doesn't drag into it for too
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
Tired.
Like this, I just put the words right out. It's tired. Like, we are tired. So I'm hoping that the more we say we need a resolution, like in Aaliyah song, I need a resolution. Um, Bravo will start to go back to that. Like,
Yes.
we still want messy, we still want drama, we still want lavish life, but we want a resolution too. Like the comedic aspect and the resolution is what's missing.
Yes, the comedic aspect especially has been forgotten, and I also feel like a lot of the viewers are so laser focused on like heavy drama that whenever there are moments of like just enjoyment and fun, people say like, "Oh no, this is boring." I'm like, "No, that's what used to be Housewife for." I used to just watch Housewives to see them travel to an exotic place for them
Yep.
to get like for them to have a good time. And yes, they're gonna argue whatever, but it wasn't not only about some like legal drama with like Erica Jane and the victims, or like Jen Shah and the victims. there was drama, but there was a sense of like, okay, there has to be some fun behind it. There has to be some
Yes.
enjoyment, and it used to be mindless TV.
Like when
Now it's
Diva
like,
threw her leg out on the floor. Like, whoo, fake leg on the floor. Like, so it's I think that's one of the reasons people kind of sleep on Potomac, because they don't have a lot of that, kind of, well, this season is a little sketchy, but they don't have a lot of that, kind of viciousness when they fight. And it's a lot more comedic and, 2 and 3 episodes of resolution, or 2 episodes in resolution. So their drama isn't as season long as some of the other shows. And I think that works well for them. But I think
yes.
also at the same time, people are surprised that they don't have that kind of drama.
Yes, I agree. I love Potomac for that reason actually, because they don't have that type of drama, and they still have those really funny moments. Like
Yeah.
half of the show every Sunday I'm cracking up. Even though there are
Because,
moments where you're like, shit, this is really heavy, but there's also a balance of like, okay, there is Candace saying some like crazy stuff on her confessional, and you laugh.
yes.
That's what Housewife is all about. So I do agree that Potomac has the perfect balance, and to be honest, it's like Miami too. If you're watching
Yes.
Miami, Miami
Yeah.
is given so much because it still feels like old school housewives. They have a lot of drama going on, but they also have moments of fun. They also have moments where you see that the cast get together for one of the castmates. You see
Mm-hmm.
Lisa literally crying because this numb looking man is abusing her mentally with this divorce, but they still have time to put aside all the drama they're going during the filming, and still be
And
around
still
her.
rally
And
behind her.
exactly, and you don't see
Like,
that on other shows.
I'm going to be honest, I don't see any other Real Housewife franchise that rally around and have a kind of very sisterhood bond like the women do on Miami. Like, they know when to drop the petty nonsense and hug somebody and love
Yes.
on Lisa. Like, and even in the midst of loving on Lisa, Larsa will fight with Gertie, like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Hush. Like, I love it because they can be very, not very catty, but they can be catty, but very, very loving, literally in the same scene. And that kind of balance, you know, Julia and Adriana are over there getting their drink, have no idea what's going on, and Lisa is just pouring her heart out and crying and just talking about how horrible her life is. I say that smiling and I feel bad, but that's what's going on.
It's true.
And it's just a great balance, and I really like the sisterhood.
And before we move from Salt Lake City, I want to answer this question because I think is I want to hear your perspective. The question is, what do you think the best way to bring back Salt Lake City back next season will be?
Um, I don't. I think it should wait a few years. Come back on Peacock. Um, Honestly, shorten the season. Um, if bad weather Heather can, they can bad weather can get it together. They can come back and play. Bring
Yeah.
Lisa Barlow. I'm not interested in Meredith Marks. I know people are going to eat me up in the comments. Have at it. Um, I'm not interested in her sons, his tracksuits, none of it. Return to sender, all of it. No, thank you.
Not the tracksuits.
Little fucking fake ass Adidas looking tracksuits. Like, get out of here. His
You know
tracksuits
what's
look like some broke down Adidas. Like,
you know what's really
I'm,
funny? On the last, not the last episode, the one before that one, they had the um fashion show with like some of his new designs, and I'm looking at it like, this is so dreadful. Like this is pure fashion school like projects. This is not fashion. This is somebody who's trying to be a designer. And I had said it before. Brooks Mark, I appreciate your intention of breaking into the fashion industry, but
Hmm.
maybe just maybe you should try stylist when the clothes is already designed for you and put it together than trying to glue gun feathers to a pant.
I think that he should, yes, start working as a stylist. And I think that he should also go to school. Like, there are many schools in this country where you can study fashion and you can
Yes.
study design and textiles. I hate to toot my own horn, but I have a MBA in fashion apparel studies where I actually had to study everything. So while I am studying the business, I can construct a garment.
Yeah.
Like, I can put it on the CAD machine and mass produce it, and I can tell you how much it cost.
Yeah.
And I hate that he's trying to skip these steps with no discernible talent other than your parents are wealthy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. There is just my opinion on him.
Yeah. What I was going to say for to answer Aaron's question, I do think that Salt Lake City should be put on pause maybe for a year, like give it a break, and allow the ladies that remain on the show to become friends again. Because my
Mhm.
biggest issue with Salt Lake City is that it feels like they only are together or are friends while filming, and as soon the cameras are down they just go in different ways, and there's no like real like organic connection between them. And that's how this season, especially this season, felt like. It feels like it's just a group of random women who hate each other to start with, putting together and see how it goes, pretending to be friends. So I do believe that they should be put on pause so they can create a bond, a friendship, or whatever. They should try to get Mary back, or at least somebody with that type of personality who's quirky and fun, and is gonna bring some happy moments to the show. I hope and I pray to God that Salt Lake City doesn't do what they did with Teresa in New Jersey, to wait for Jensha to come out of prison to kind of like bring her back to the show, because to be
No.
honest, that would be suicide for the show. Like that would be
Well,
awful.
let me ask you, what do you think about the new housewife, alleged new housewife that they're floating around, and she looks like a twin
Of Heather
of,
Gay.
yeah, like a brunette Heather.
Yeah, I actually thought that was Heather with a wig when I first saw the photo.
You're not the only. I'm sitting there looking like, oh, that's not. Oh,
I was like,
that's
is
not
that
Heather.
Heather Gay's cousin?
It may the
It
way
probably
Utah set up,
is.
it may be.
I mean,
Well, I'm sure we'll
it's
find
Utah
out.
after all.
Yeah. So it doesn't look like they're going to put it on pause. I'm hoping they do, but
Yeah, and honestly, if they decide to move forward with filming, I wouldn't be mad with them by giving NGK and Dana Snowflakes or the opportunity to come back, because they, from my opinion, they carry half of the season. So I'm
I
still
will
wonder.
agree.
I will be like, okay, if they're gonna give somebody the position, at least give it to them because they already are familiar faces.
Yes. So I agree. And then I guess my question is, what do you think of Angie H?
Uh,
Because she did
uh,
bring drama, and so did her fat fucking elf on the shelf
Evelyn
husband.
Joe.
See, I want to hate Jen Shah, but then she says shit like that.
I will never look at an elf on the shelf in the same
This,
way ever again. Literally, this
oh,
year I kept calling my elf on the shelf age.
that's the thing. Like, because Jen is such a horrible person. You want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
You fed
But
so
honestly, do I think that Salt Lake City can be saved? Absolutely. I mean, the first season was a good introduction for the
mhm.
franchise, so it does have potential. They just have to get it together. Production needs to get it together
Production.
because
That's the thing. Production needs to get it together.
part of the issue this season, especially this season, was production wise more than anything. Was a lot of production
Production
issues.
production had a lot of issues, and I think honestly, Bravo has struggled with casting.
Yes. Oof.
Bravo is struggling with casting, and they've been struggling with casting across the franchises
Agree.
for years.
Yeah,
Like,
agree.
and unfortunately, Salt Lake City, Dallas, like OC, like these shows have been struggling more so because of casting and not because of anything particularly that these women has done except for, the criminals and Kelly Dot.
Yeah.
Like it's more so just a really, really tough job to pick women who can, kind of create chemistry organically and have some type of relationship and are also wealthy and willing to bear their lives and can do it all on TV well. Like, this is
Well,
a
yeah.
lot we're asking from people. Like, I understand it's not a small feat.
Yeah, and that's true. Not everybody is meant for TV. That's another thing. Like a lot of people think that because they're funny or something, they should be on TV. But being on TV is a different ball game. You can be funny in your local stand-up comedy little bar, but it doesn't mean that you are gonna be able to portray that on in front of a camera or translate it into through the cameras. So Bravo has had a lot of issues with casting. They need to get their HR team, a little more. They need to like put some uh, wood to the fire to find the right people because they keep dropping and they have dropped the ball in stuff that are easily found.
Hmm.
The whole Jenny from last season. The
Yeah.
was I forgot her last name. Jenny,
Gwen.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yes. Um, the fact that a simple search on Facebook revealed all this stuff. A simple search on her
Hmm.
personal Facebook
Yeah.
revealed how she was feeling and all this stuff make me question Bravo's um like proper investigation of their own team and their background checks.
Oh yeah.
Like how do you not see
Honestly, I don't
that?
think that I don't think that there's any, I don't want to say I don't think there's any effort. I think that Bravo has become so big
Yeah,
that they are now spread more thin in certain areas. Um, I don't know who's casting over at Peacock because, you know, you don't hear about these things with, say, The Real Girlfriends in Paris. Like,
I love that show.
I
I'm
love
so
that show.
sad.
Like, it hasn't been canceled, has it?
I mean, it hasn't been canceled, but it's has.
It
I
hasn't
mean,
been renewed either.
yeah, and it's been
Yeah.
quite a while for them to like say something about it. So I'm
I'm
kind of
gonna just keep
sad.
my fingers crossed because I like
I
that
know.
show.
I'm really hoping
And
that Peacock picks it up because Peacock
yeah,
has been doing an amazing job with their
yeah.
shows.
Whoever is, in charge of programming and casting over at Peacock, have them interview new programming and casting staff over at Bravo. Don't get rid
Yes.
of them on Peacock because they're whatever they're doing, give them like 5% increase. But have them interview and staff that entire department over there on Bravo because what they're doing on Peacock is working. I don't know if they have a younger age demographic, like they're shooting more for, 18 to 20. So it's landing for 17 to 30. You know what I mean? Like whatever they're shooting for is working.
Yes.
Bravo is shooting for this. They're shooting for my age, and my age just isn't hitting it. Like you're shooting for 40 and you're hitting 70, and like it's just not landing. Like none of
Like
it's landing.
Miami is filmed and shot so beautifully. Like that production in Miami is just perfection. The way
And
that they,
below
they
deck, oh,
and also we have I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen the clips and people talking the traders now. I'm gonna watch it this weekend because
watch it.
yeah, I haven't watched, so let's not talk about it. We will talk about it
I'm
when I
not talking
watch
about
it.
it.
It's
Yes,
I know that the whole season is out. You can just binge the whole thing. So I'm gonna sit down this weekend. That's gonna be my weekend watch. I'm excited because I seen the clips. I seen the way that it's been shot, and it's beautifully done. You
it's
know,
beautiful. Like one, the production is great. Like the production is great. I don't know if like they say it's based on another show in
in the
Europe or
UK.
a video game. Like it's not an original idea. I don't even care. The casting is great. The story is great. I'm like, I have 3 or 4 episodes to go. Like, I love it. I'm not
So
gonna spill anything for you.
we will definitely talk about it next week when I finish the whole season. But like once again, like they are doing a great job by bringing reality TV to the essence of reality TV. We have Ultimate Girls Trips. Both of those seasons were great. We have Miami, beautifully done. Feels like old school housewife, but it still feels new. Doing a great job. The cast that they got last season and is right now still the cast. I don't want to change it because it was perfectly done. They are perfect for that show.
Yes.
So I need the person who's doing all this really hard work, Peacock, to be sent to Beverly Hills because I need my franchise back to the glory days. I'm excited that they are, putting on pause. I'm gonna say that because who knows? Uh, to the Rena, is somewhere with Harry Hamlin living her life. Leave her there for now. Um, that gives me hope that the franchise is gonna somehow pivot to what it was before she joined the franchise because I love season 1, 2, and 3 and 4 of Beverly Hills. So that's what I hope that we get that back.
Um, Here's my prediction with Rena, because I think you're right, Rena is coming back. I think Rena's gonna be gone for about a season or two. And I think Rena is going to be invited to Ultimate Girls Trip. I think there is a podcast somewhere in there, very similar to Two T's in the Pod, probably with her and Harry Hamlin.
Oh God,
I
the
am I
rats,
saying
the
am I
rats
saying
are gonna be the
anything? Am I saying anything that's really surprising?
no.
Like, and then I think that if she can parlay all of that, she's going to try to do the Tamra Judge route. If she
Yeah,
can parlay all of that into a leap to ultimate girls trip season, probably 5 or 6,
and
she'll
then
be
she
back
will
to
make her
Beverly
way
Hills.
back. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think the same way too. I think she's making her way into like all the Bravo shows, like you said, like Ultimate Girls Trip and stuff like that. Definitely try to put a book out or like a podcast, and then we will see her back to the show.
Yeah. I think, she'll get in the habit of cleaning up her social media or get a better dummy account. Um, and, you know, a leopard doesn't change his spots.
That's
Like,
right. I
it's Rena's
agree.
gonna Rena. Rena's gonna Rena. And there was a time when Rena did Rena on a top chef kind of level. Like she was elite with it, and she wasn't getting caught when she was self-producing, and she wasn't messy on social media. And if she can, get off of social media, like real talk, if Rena could get off social media and stop self-producing so obviously, she would be a great housewife again. Like I'm not going to take that away from her. She had a good solid 5.5 years,
Yes.
like a good
Talking,
solid 5.5 years.
talking about Housewife of Ultimate Girls Trip. This is a
Mhm.
great question. We just got the cast for Ultimate Girls Trip season 4. So we got
Mhm.
4 uh, women from the previous season coming back. We have Vicky. We have Eva. We also have Phaedra and Brandy for the previous season, and now we have
Yes.
Gretchen, Caroline, Alice McCord, and who else? I forgot.
Uh, Gretchen, Allison. Um. Oh. We said Brandy. You're such a
Ca-
fucking liar, Camille. Camille.
Camille. Oh my gosh, my
Camille
girl.
Grammer.
So
I
so
love Camille,
yeah.
and
So the question here is, who would you see on
oh, and Caroline
Caroline?
Manzo.
I know. And that was really random.
So random. Well, okay, so here's why it's not random. So you were at BravoCon and you remember seeing her
Yes.
there, right? So
Yes.
to me, that was the introduction.
Yeah.
That was to see if she still had a fan base in the
Yeah. Which
Bravo
she still
sphere.
does.
She still did. And then that she could still mix it up.
Yeah.
And she did. And then I think she had like that YouTube show or like a Bravo Shorts or something. Like there's something
In between.
in the
Yeah.
mix. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something in the mix. So this is fairly new because of, her starting to kind of reconnect since BravoCon, since somebody introduced her, invited her. I don't know why or how that happened. Not even trying to be shady. I did not know that Caroline Manzo was still in the mix.
And she is back with Ultimate Girls Trip 4. So the question here is, who do you see on Ultimate Girls Trip 5? Who do you think it would be like a good choice? Let's pick
Okay.
let's pick 6, so we don't go like too into it, because we're gonna be pulling names like from like back in the day.
Okay. So I would like um Adrian Malouf. Like I need like if I'm picking two from franchises, I would pick Adrian Malouf and LVP.
Yes.
Or like just because they have a good bond, a good rapport, and neither of them have been on this show for a while. Or Eileen and Kim,
Okay.
just because of the Amsterdam trip, and see if they can work it out. Like, can we get
Yeah.
some resolution there? And if not, what can we get?
Get more drama.
Beast.
Bees, how dare you?
so so either of those from Beverly Hills would be good for me. Um I would like to see Karen, the Grand Dame, on Ultimate Girls Trip. Um let's see. I don't we're getting some mix of the Potomac ladies already.
Yes.
So because Potomac doesn't have a super huge cast, I wouldn't mind bringing Katie back now that she's healthy and sober, and her and Karen always got along really well. I think that would be a great vibe.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. So that's 2, 4. Ooh, let's go to New York. Okay. So, hmm. I kind of want to see Sonia. I kind of want to. I. I kind of want to see. I don't want to. Ooh, ooh. Since allegedly Tinsley was supposed to be on season 4, I want to see Sonia and Tinsley.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
That would be
I'm
awesome.
I am creating
Oh,
the best and worst trip.
I honestly I agree with every single one of your choices.
I'm
Um,
creating the best and worst trip of all time. Like,
can you imagine the chaos that will ensue between like Tinsley and Sonia being there, and then you have the Kim mm, and the Eileens of the world mixed in the like. Honestly, I am 100% on board with yours.
right?
I'm going to I'm gonna give six now on my side. I'm 100% on board with yours. Those are great picks. I think you're gonna win this one, but I'm going to go with I would like to see from Beverly Hills. It has to be LVP, and that's like my choice. I want LVP, and I also want. I know this is very random as well, but I want Carton to be on it too. They both British. They are both have that British humor.
That
One
dry
is
humor.
they both have different style of wealth because LBP is pink and bubbly and fun, and Cartoon is very gothic and very dark. So I kind of want that combo there. And also, I would love to see them talk about Kyle, because they both are not in good terms
They
with
both
about
hate
with
Kyle.
Kyle. And the Cartoon hates her, so that would be great TV. Kind of like have a kiki about it. So MVP Carton. I'm going to pick from. I'm gonna bring from Dallas. I'm gonna bring. I want to bring somebody from Dallas. Who? I think Doctor
Um,
Moon.
oh, okay. I was gonna ask, what's her name with the forehead?
The forehead.
No.
Not Ashley. Oh God.
Sorry about it.
Um. Yeah, I'm gonna Dr. Tiffany Moon. I'm gonna add her to the mix because I think that she deserved like a second chance to be a housewife
Yeah,
somehow, and
she's
I
fun.
think
I see her on
yeah,
her socials. She's fine.
so I think she will be great. That will be three. I'm going to choose from New York. I'm gonna bring Sonia. I'm gonna steal that from you because Sonia is the perfect woman to be on a trip.
Yeah.
So that would be four. Uh, for the OC, I'm gonna bring. Who do I want from the OC? I want Heather Dubrow. I know she's a little dry and kind of like too much, but I want to see her in a trip environment with all the women from not
I
her
want to see her in a trip
franchise.
environment. Hmm.
Especially if we have LVP and Carton in the mix. I kind of want to see this
I want to
like
see those
fight
welts.
for wealth. It's gonna be
Who's having the
interesting.
biggest room?
I know. And that's gonna be interesting to see how they will solve that problem.
I would
And
love to see the richest ones fight over the biggest room.
I know. Oh my gosh. And last but not least, I will pick from New Jersey. I want Jennifer Aiden to be involved
I love
because
Jen.
me too.
Jen is about to have a whole standout moment. Like, she's been having a really nice glow up. And, I think I don't I think that when Margaret, kind of spilled her tea, it didn't
Yeah.
have the effect that she wanted it to have, because Jen then owned it and had to say, I'm still hurt, I'm still mad, and we need to deal with you cheating on me.
Yes.
And that's real life.
That's
Like,
right.
that's real life. Like, can you imagine how many wives have swept it under the carpet for the sake of trying to put on a brave face till they can't anymore?
Especially
Like,
on housewives in
on how,
general. We've
in
seen it so
general,
many
like,
times.
so I like her. I think this is really going to be a great season for her. Like, and
Yeah.
then last in the reunion, she just told she's like, "You're just so vanilla. I just don't like you." And said it with a
The
straight.
the way that she reads people, it's insane. I mean, her talent for reading is hardcore. I mean,
She's so
she's
smart.
yeah, she doesn't have the read kind of like a Nini or a Candace. She doesn't have that, but she had the Jersey read, which is like dry and straight for the jugular. She doesn't go for like shade. She goes straight for the jugular. That's the Jersey way. And like when I always said that when anyone tries me, I'm like, Merriam-Webster, where you at? I always said
Yeah,
that because
yeah,
I love her. I think she's a
you
great
will read a
housewife.
girl. She's a great housewife. I like her all around. Like I like that she'll get sloppy drunk. I like that she'll be classy. I like that she'll read the girls. I like that she'll be a friend. Like Jen is so authentic with everything she does. And she's I like when they show her culture too. Like
Yes. Yes.
I wish they would show more of that and less of the drunk Jen. I mean, drunk Jen is fun. Don't get me wrong, but I like all facets of her. So I'm Philly Divas is stand for Jen. Like I'm here for Jen. I mean, I'm don't ask me to choose between Trey and Melissa because I could give a shit, but I am here for Jen. Like I love
Yes.
her.
Yeah, same here. I'm a huge Jennifer Aiden stan. I like her a lot. Especially because a lot of people say, "Oh, uh, uh, Jersey, I'm Jersey or whatever," and I look at them like, "No, you're not," because I'm from Jersey. I know how Jersey people are. You're pretending to be Jersey.
Yeah,
Jennifer Aiden, it's
it's
Jersey.
Jersey.
That's
She's so
Jersey.
she's so Jersey.
She
Like
will she will drag you across the street if it's necessary, and that's the Jersey way.
here's the thing about Jennifer Aiden, which is why I know she's so Jersey. She doesn't care if she humiliates herself. She will read you down to the ground and take you down to the gutter with her. Like she doesn't care if you're trying to do something against me, fine. And she will make you really, really regret it, even if he shows her in the worst light. Like, and I love that about her. Like, oh no, you're not gonna get the best of me. That's a Jersey boy. You're not gonna get the best of me.
Yep. And she's also, I mean, obviously a very strong housewife, but she's also a very sweet person. Because I
Yes.
saw her during BravoCon, and she was always very polite, very sweet. She never had an attitude. Amazing person to talk really briefly with. And yeah, I'm a full stan. I love her. I'm happy that we are on the same page.
We're still on that podcast.
Oh my gosh. What? Let's talk about since we have kind of finally moved away from Salt Lake City. Let's talk about Potomac real quick. I know that Erin was asking, how do you feel about Giselle playing the victim? Those news came out, I think it was today, where she was saying that um, with the whole, you know,
Engage.
with the whole situation with Giselle and Candace, now Giselle is saying that Candace wants to play the victims. But in my opinion, she is not the victim. She's not playing the
What do
victim,
in the morning?
and definitely, I don't think that Giselle has any right to say that about Candace just because the person who really started this whole mess with Chris was the way that Giselle expressed her feelings. I'm not saying that Giselle shouldn't feel that way. If that's the way that she was feeling, that's fine. But the way that she twisted the story so many times um, to kind of make Chris looks like somebody who was purposely making her uncomfortable. That's my problem with. You
Yeah.
can feel uncomfortable. You can feel that way. That's completely fine, and that's those are your feelings. I respect that. But the moment that you try to use your feeling as a fact in this situation, that's a problem. You know.
Yeah, see, I it's hard because when Giselle first started telling the story in the dance studio, I immediately understood how Giselle felt because I've been that single woman talking to someone's husband who's had a drink.
Yeah.
And you just don't want to even give the idea of impropriety.
Yeah.
So I understand that aspect. The problem there is she waited 4 months to address it to Candace because if she did feel a way, and I'm not saying that she didn't, because she had to feel a way, she mentioned it to Robin that night. So
Yes.
I think that her feelings were genuine. She
Yes.
did feel awkward. It felt weird. Like she didn't know how to feel about the situation, about him being drunk. She's just fighting with his wife. Like there was a lot. So instead of saying, yo, not tonight, let's talk tomorrow.
Yes.
Or then after even having the conversation and feeling weird, and then that like the two of you going your separate ways, then saying it to Candace and him the next day, or even after you've talked to Robin a couple of days later to think about it. You waited 4 months until y'all started filming again to bring it up on camera.
Yes.
And I think that's when Candace was like, oh, wait a minute. It's my turn now. Like, because every year, every season, Giselle goes after somebody's husband. And it's now become a pattern of behavior.
Yes.
So I think that's why we're now getting the Candace we're getting. And in a way, I'm kind of glad Giselle brought it up on camera 4 months later because we've got Candace on a yoga mat. We've now got Candace chilled out and zenned out for 4 months so she can now appropriately come to these girls with the reads that they deserve and not popping off.
Yes.
So thank you, Giselle, for being sneaky and conniving, allegedly, in my opinion. Um, it's not
Yes.
landing the way you thought it would.
And the best part is that production is keeping all these women checked every episode, because if we didn't have production doing the Lord's work by showing receipts, we will be having a different conversation.
We'd be having a totally different conversation, and it wouldn't just be Chris we would be looking at funny. It would also be Eddie because we would just have this girl's opinion to go from.
Yeah.
Oh, she said it was Chris. Oh, it must have been Chris and it. Like, so I'm really grateful that we have production to say, no, 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 not today, Satan. Not today, neck. Today, ankles. Like, because that's where that storyline started.
Yeah.
That storyline started with Giselle saying, Chris made me feel uncomfortable. She then told Robin. Robin said no. She then told Ashley, and Ashley said, oh, well, let me hop on board. And
Agreed.
that dog didn't hunt.
Yeah.
Thank you, production. That dog didn't hunt with you. That dog didn't hunt with your girlfriend. Like
Yeah.
it's stop making fetch happen, people. Like it's not work. Like it's not going to work. And production is right there to show you it's not going to work. We're not going to do it. You're not going to let you lie on these men and say that this didn't happen. Like this is why I think that there was footage of Michael grabbing that guy's butt. But
But yeah, I agree. I'm just happy that we have footage that is, telling a different story, and is making sure that these ladies don't get away with it. I mean,
mhm.
production is doing a great job on doing so. I'm also happy that um, the way that Giselle tried to go for Candace's music career, because that was also included in the comments, saying like, doesn't she have like music to promote, or like a song or an album to record?
Mhm.
And like Giselle, Candace is doing all the stuff. She literally just had a song released with Trina, who's a icon. She is an
Like
icon, so she's doing her thing. I want to know exactly what you're doing beside your podcast that I have not listened to yet. Um, but
like
yeah, I mean,
and the thing is, she has the podcast, yeah, but I think Giselle also has her bakery. Like, I'm like 80% sure Giselle has a bakery. I would love to see her do some stuff with the bakery on the show. Like, she's the, like, it's so many missed opportunities with her. Like, I would like
Yes.
to see a bakery. I would like to see her do a love coach or a life coach or, a love match or something like that. Like one of the matchmakers from Love Match Atlanta crossover.
Yeah.
Like
And she's going through surgery because he have issues with the uterus and
with her
stuff like
fibroids,
that.
yeah.
And I did not know anything about that until last episode. Like I did not know how uh, dangerous that was and stuff like
Yes.
that. And there's so many women out there dealing with this, and instead of focusing on using like that moment to like, okay, this is something I want to share, she focused on somebody else's story. And I'm like, girl, you had something in your hands that you can actually use for good, which is showing to other ladies, okay, I'm dealing with this. This is how we deal with the
Well,
situation.
this is why I can't wait to see how her and Candace interact on Ultimate Girls Trip. I can't
Yeah,
wait. Away
yeah,
from the other women on Potomac, away from Robin. Like, I want to see how, well, clearly they don't mend things, but I would like to see how, they react on Ultimate Girls Trip.
yeah. I agree. That's very interesting. I know the Ultimate Girls Trip 3 is coming out. I think it's in March, but we haven't gotten like the actual date, like official date, or the trailer. We watched the trailer during BravoCon, but we haven't gotten like the actual trailer like online or their website or anywhere. And it's like, okay, time is ticking. I want to watch the
Yeah,
trailer.
I'm gonna have to go back to my lives because I remember recording it because they
Yeah,
played it on the same um in the
the
same
girls trip.
panel that they played the Luann and Sonia reality show.
I want to watch that one. That was such a good
I do want
trailer
the
too.
simple, like, yeah, it's very, Golden Girls simple life. I like it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm kind of and I love Sonya. I mean, she's
I love Sonia.
such a mess in the good way.
She's so
Like
fine.
she's messy, fun, interesting, and she lives in her own little world in her little head. I love it. I love Sonya.
To me, I think Sonia is honestly quintessential Roni. Like,
Yeah,
I know a lot of people say um, Ramona to an extent, but when it just there are just a lot of things that I guess are very New York, and Ramona is very New York.
yeah,
But I really just that doesn't mean I want to see it on my TV screen.
that's
Like
right.
that's the thing. I just there's some things I really don't want to see on my TV screen, and I think where it just indicates I'm like I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
So, well, sorry, Ramona, you had to go.
I mean, I mean, her time just came for her to go. Like, it's good
Yeah,
that she's not involved on Legacy. I'm excited. I don't know how people are not reacting positively to the option of two Ronnies. I'm obsessed with the idea.
like,
I'm like, two shows to watch, two different
and
shows
that's the
based in
thing.
the
It's
same
two
city.
different. So I don't know I don't know if both of them if I'm going to watch both of them. Like, I'm going to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to watch both of them. I'm going to give them both a fair shake.
Yes.
However, I just can't devote all that time to to Roni shows, plus like other shows that are out. So I'm gonna pick my poison, and it's just gonna be whichever one speaks to me. I have a feeling it's going to be the new Roni, just because it's a little bit more. I don't know. It's fresh. It's a little bit more diversity. It's a little bit more young. It's a little bit
It's
more fashions.
it's more
Like,
true New York. It's more true
yeah,
now, like now how New York is. I mean, obviously, when the first Ronnie came out, it was located on the Upper East Side, and the Upper East Side is very white. It's is they know each other. That makes sense. It's an older crowd, a richer crowd from like
hmm,
generational rich
yeah,
wealth. I mean, it's not like downtown New York, like Soho or like Tribeca, where it's more like a young crowd, young
Yeah.
money, artists and musician, whatever. No, the Upper East Side is the old school wealth in New York. So I understand where that came from. That's why maybe the show was so. People keep saying Ronnie was for many years extremely wide for the location. But what people don't know is like the location of Ronnie in reality was the Upper East
Upper
Side.
West East Side. Yeah.
And now we have a Ronnie that is located even in Queens and Brooklyn. They live outside Manhattan. And obviously someone that live in the island, but that's the beauty of New York now. That's why I'm excited for that new New York because it represents what the new New York is. So
I'm very excited.
I'm hoping that people give it the opportunity because um, there is this mentality that if it's not the way it was and it's been, there's no chance for people to like it. I'm like, people, give it a fair chance because I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure you're gonna be surprised. We have a question here for Aaron. Who do you want to see on Ronnie Legacy?
Um, Honestly, the people I want to see on Ronnie Legacy are on Ronnie Legacy. So I'm good with how it is. That would probably just be the Countess, Dorinda, and wait a minute, Jill's not on Legacy, is she?
Jill?
Yeah, Jill Zarin's
I'm
not on
not.
Legacy.
I don't think so.
Oh, I would have liked to see. I would have liked to seen Jill. I would have liked to seen Alex. Um, we do get Alex on Ultimate Girls Trip, so maybe that'll be her springboard back into Roni.
Yeah.
Um, people talk about having Jill Ben Simone on. Not Jill Ben Simone, excuse me, Kelly Ben Simone. No, thank you. Like, uh, I would rather not.
Yes, I
Again, me
agree.
personally, I would rather not. Um, Again, I would like a rotating cast of Legacy.
That would be a
Like, I
good
would like
that
all of them
to have a
rotating.
chance. Yeah.
Yes.
I hope the legacy turns out to be kind of like you said, like a rotation of uh, previous housewives to see where they at right now. Give the opportunity for us to like kind of get like an update on their lives. Okay, let's go to the next one with a new person and see how they still interact. And I don't think Legacy is gonna be the type of show that's gonna have like Legacy season 1, 2, and 3 with the same cast. I think it's going to be kind of like an ultimate girls trip where like each season is based on different housewife. And the first set, I do want Sonia to be there. I would
Yeah.
love Sonia to be there because I don't know. I have a special love for her because she's so freaking amazing and crazy.
Yeah. No, I love Sonya. And I mean, hopefully they're listening. I hear they watch, the YouTube streets to see what people are saying.
Yeah.
So if they are, rotating cast for Roni Legacy. Rotating cast for Roni Legacy.
Also, I would like Bravo to do Legacy not just for New York. I think it's time for them to do legacies for other
Atlanta.
cities too as well, because they have
OC.
many housewives that have left the show or have been fired or whatever. The people want to reconnect with, and this is the opportunity for them to capitalize on that. Like I remember when they announced Ronnie's legacy, I was like, oh my god, this is such a great idea. I want a Beverly Hills Legacy. Can you imagine bringing back the original
Oh,
cast, like the first season cast, the LVP, Kyle Richards, King Richards, Camille, Taylor, and Adrienne Malou. Bring them together to see what they're doing right now and kind of give the chance to like reconnect. That would be amazing. I
that
want
would be
that.
crazy.
Even if it was just for one season, I would love to see that.
Like if Roni Legacy or any of the franchise Legacy was actually a trip, like Ultimate Girls Trip, and you could rotate those cast members in and out, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because you would really just get them together for say a week. That's really all we need for a whole
Yeah.
season. And that way, you have yeah, those iconic beefs. Like if we did say Atlanta, you could have a Nene and Cynthia, see if they could heal their friendship. Because remember, last time they were both on the show, they weren't friends.
Yeah.
So I would love one to have Nene back on my screen again, but also to see if the two of them could fix that. That would be nice.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. Um, that that will be a way for Bravo not only to create a show, but give life to the current franchises, give like a brand new life, because a lot of people are like, okay, like what's next for like, you know, New York or New Jersey or whatever. I mean, at one point they have to rotate even the OGs. The only OGs left, OG quote unquote, are Teresa and Kyle. Everybody else had come and go and whatever. I mean, the franchise has to move
Mhm.
forward to I mean to stay alive. So creating legacy, what it does is like it gives us that nostalgic feeling and give the opportunity for the franchises to have a new life. You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that's what I hope Bravo start to do, because I don't want the housewives, like I don't want the housewives that started the shows and stuff to completely disappear and not be part of the Bravo universe. And just bring new people. I want the new people to have the fair chance to be part of the franchises, but also have that nostalgic feeling with legacy.
Yes. That like well that's a happy mix that we could all.
Yeah. And you bring a new market and you keep the market you already have, because people like us that have been watching Bravo for a long time, we're gonna be watching both because we are interested in the new people, and we obviously have a love for all the ladies from back in the day.
Yeah.
So and the new ladies, I'm pretty sure they will bring a new market to Bravo. That is just getting to know what Housewife and Bravo shows are.
Yeah, especially these new girls that have this really strong social media following and presence, and they're really big influencers. Like I hate to use that word because it's just kind of weird that people actually, but you know what I mean. Like they're a big
Yes.
deal, in that influencer world. And I think this is probably the first time that Bravo are featuring them on major shows like Summer House and Winter House. Those kind of started with influencer types.
Yeah.
So that's that genre, you know what I mean? But to bring on influencers onto a housewives, I think that's relatively new, and it's it's interesting. So I'm looking forward to it, like because this is the new wealth, the new money, the new it crowd, so to speak.
Yeah, that's what I said too before. We cannot ignore the fact that influencers and social media has created a new generation of wealthy people, and we cannot just pretend that that's not happening. You know, so by
Yeah.
Bravo bringing influencers, quote unquote, social media influencers into the mix, is exactly what's happening. I mean, a lot of young people have made their fortune through their influence on social media.
Now,
So
let me ask you something. Do you think that this is what some of the OGs are finding offensive? That
it could
these
be because the OG, a lot of the OG come from generational wealth, or they created wealth the old school way. So they probably see this as like, okay, what their talents are, or what they do. I mean, if they are famous for the sake of being famous. But at the same time, I'm thinking, I mean, you can be upset about it because you created your wealth in the old school way, but you also became famous for the sake of being famous.
yeah. So we will see. Like that's probably the dynamic I'm looking forward to seeing play out the most is this new kind of generation of housewives. I don't want to say versus, but mixing with
Yeah.
the older generation of housewives.
That's gonna be interesting, like doing Bravo cons in the future when you have more like new money versus old money. That's gonna be so interesting to watch.
I can't wait to be there.
know that my BravoCon is my Coachella. Whatever it takes, where they take, because they're saying that they're gonna take BravoCon to the West Coast next year or this year, whatever.
No.
That's the talk in the Bravo Street. I'm not saying that's happening. But I'm saying is like if they take BravoCon to the freaking Antarctica, I'm flying there because that's my Coachella. Wherever they go, I'm following. But I hope they do not do that because um, New York makes more sense to me. It's a city that
Yeah.
you can walk to places. You don't have to be trapped in traffic if you want to go from one place to another one. The Javits Center was just perfectly
It
fine.
was
Uh,
perfect.
Also, Andy has two kids, so I feel like him going away for 3 days to the West Coast for work. I
And
think for
probably
him,
longer.
yeah, because he has to go for production and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I do think it's a bigger production taking it to the West Coast than having since Bravo's here in New York doing it in New York City. So yeah, I do not want them to move it either because I think all my connections in the city I don't have those in LA. So
And I'm like, I really don't want to go to LA. Like, I'm just getting my Bravo life, and I'm trying to just drive up to New York.
yeah, I mean it's right there. Yeah, I honestly do not want it to take it to the West Coast. I'm an East Coaster. I wanted to keep it on the East Coast.
Yeah.
you know, so
Mhm.
that's the tea that they're saying that they might do that. I highly doubt it. I also feel like um, rotating the city it's a big it's definitely not what Bravo should be focusing on, especially because I know the producing BravoCon here in New York was a big budget, and moving that to a different city would be a higher budget because pretty much everything Bravo is literally located in New York City.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. NBC's headquarters is also in New York, right? NBC Universal,
yes,
I believe, is in New York. So I don't.
yeah,
I'm hoping that's just a rumor of some wishful thinking West Coaster, um, but it does not logically make sense
yeah, no,
logistically. So we're just not even going to put that in the atmosphere.
that's right. I wonder. My biggest question is: do you think that they are gonna do it annually, or they're gonna take a break in between years to let the shows kind of season?
Nope. They want that money. They're going to do that annually. And I think the only reason it hadn't been done annually was because of COVID.
COVID. Yeah,
Yeah, like this is an annual thing. If they could do it twice a year, they probably would. Like the more money, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Like if
yeah.
they
I'm
if they could do BravoCon every 6 months,
month
they probably
every month.
every month.
I mean, yeah. I really hope is every year because I look forward to it. I last year was such an um, mind blowing, surreal experience. So I'm
Yes.
hoping to get my dose of BravoCon this year because I need it in my system. Plug it like an IV. Philly Diva, it was
Like,
so great talking to you tonight.
oh, thank you. So I'm hope I didn't keep you up too late.
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I, I, I'm just so happy that we decided to do this like late night chat. We needed to close the week celebrating because we had so many news and so many crazy things
This
happening. It was a good week in the Bravo universe.
yes.
Definitely, we will be talking about more stuff because there's way too much Bravo coming that we are going to be chatting. Um, Philly Diva, it's your time to take the microphone. It's all yours.
Well, I want to thank you for having me. You can see me here on YouTube. On the YouTube streets, you can catch me at the THEE Philly Diva on YouTube, and on Instagram, it's Philly.diva. Um, I appreciate you guys for, just kind of rocking with me. I'm just having fun here. Like I'm just going to have fun.
And there you have it, you guys. We are having fun. We are bringing you the news. We are having the conversation that people wants to hear about because Bravo keeps giving us topics to talk about. So you guys, I just want to say, yeah, you know where to find us. You can find me as MarTEAnis with Eddy on Instagram, Twitter, podcast, YouTube. I release 3 podcasts a week, 2 recaps, a special guest. This week I actually had 2. I had Lucia from Southern Hospitality this morning, and I also have Philly Diva closing the week tonight with me, celebrating a great week for Bravo. Thank you so much, you guys. Have an amazing weekend. And like I always say, you want to go with me, Philly Diva? Bye, bestie.
Bye.